안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 Jenny예요. Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny, and today we're going to be talking about the 냐고 하다 form, which is the indirect speech form for questions. But before we get into that, let's review all of the indirect speech forms that you've already learned because there's a lot, and it's important you keep them straight before we learn a new one. So adjective, 다고 하다. Verb is 니은 or 는다고 하다. Noun is 이라고 하다 or 라고 하다. Suggestion, 차고 하다. Command is 으라고 or 라고 하다. And while this one has not been explicitly taught or addressed, hopefully you've also picked up on the direct speech form. This is 라고 하다. This is when you use the exact same sentence that somebody said. You were quoting word for word what they said. And that looks something like this. 지은 씨가 안디 씨가 바보야 라고 했어요. You have a little bit of pause in between the end of the sentence and 라고 했어요. 지은 said, Andy is a 바보. Andy is an idiot. And that's exactly what he said, word for word. 엄마가 아침 식사를 고르면 안 돼요. 라고 했어요. Mother said it is not okay to skip your breakfast. 냐고 하다 or 냐고 했어요 is used to indirectly quote a question. So it doesn't have to be the exact same sentence, but it has to be the general gist of what they said. Here is the following an example, but please note the tense and the dropping of the subject in this example here. So 미연 씨가 is talking with 이리나 씨, and 미연 씨 asks, 미나 씨가 왜 시카고에 가요? Why is Mina going to Chicago? She uses present tense in her question. So when it's indirectly quoted, it would also be present tense here. Later, Mian's not there, but Irina 씨가 is talking with 지은 씨. So 지은 asks, 미연 씨가 뭐라고 했어요? What did Mian say? And Irina responds with, 미나 씨가 왜 시카고에 가냐고 했어요. She uses present tense, 가냐고, instead of past tense. That would be 갔냐고. Because 미연 씨 used present tense in her question, it's conjugated present tense right here. If 미연 씨 asked, 왜 시카고에 갔어요? Past tense, then it would be 갔냐고 here as well. And also note that 이리나 씨 dropped 미연 씨 from her sentence. She could add it in, but she chose to drop it because they both know that they're talking about what 미연 씨 said. 냐고 했어요 is used with verbs, adjectives, and 있다, 없다, and it's attached directly to the stem. So 먹다 because 먹냐고 했어요. 가다 becomes 가냐고 했어요. 겨울에 작은 치마를 입으면 춥지 않냐고 했어요. They asked, don't you get cold in the winter when you're wearing short skirts? If you wear short skirts in the winter, isn't it cold? Past tense is going to be 안냐고 했어요, 언냐고 했어요, or 했냐고 했어요, depending on the verb step. So 먹다 becomes 먹으냐고 했어요. 갔냐고 했어요. 했냐고 했어요. 어제 왜 콘서트에 가지 않았냐고 했어요. He asked, why didn't you go to the concert yesterday? Future tense is lir if the stem ends in a vowel and if the stem ends in a consonant. 올 거냐고 했어요. 먹을 거냐고 했어요. 갈 거냐고 했어요. When you're at Thanksgiving with your family, you might hear questions like 언제 결혼할 거야? 언제 졸업할 거야? When are you going to get married? When are you going to graduate? You can indirectly quote these questions using the 올 거냐고 form. So 언제 결혼할 거냐고 했어요. 언제 졸업할 거냐고 했어요. You can now quote what your family members ask you using this form. Down here are your irregulars, so be sure you are aware of how to conjugate those as well. Drop the lil from the lil irregulars, keep the pub for the pub irregulars. 어디에서 오셨냐고 했어요. This is with the honorific form here. The shot is the past tense honorific also in there. So this question is asking, He asked, she asked, they asked, where did you come from? Where are you from? 식사하셨냐고 했어요. 식사하다 is a more formal, polite form of 먹다. So they asked, did you have a meal yet? 비행기 표가 비싸냐고 했어요. The original form of the sentence would be 비행기가 표가 비쌌어요. But in indirect question form, it's 비쌌냐고 했어요. They asked, is the airplane ticket expensive? 아이들이 있으시냐고 했어요. She asked, do you have kids? 언제 은퇴를 하실 거냐고 했어요. Again, with honorifics. All of these except the 비쌌냐고 했어요 are with honorifics. So you can see how that's conjugated. This is the future tense form. When are you going to retire? They asked. That is it for this lesson. 잘했어요. 다음에 봐요. See you later.